Welcome back to Majestic Mayhem. We're a little late tonight. That is my fault. So I apologize to everybody that was waiting. I'm Death Dealer.
And I'm Pink Pickles.
Oh, goodness gracious. So, how is your week been? Anyone watching the news could probably guess how mine's going. It's great. Fabulous.
I say I had a hectic week, but not nearly as hectic as yours. Mine was just busy dealing with stupid people at work, and they're making more work for me, and I'm over it. Although for anyone who works in an office, they'll find the humor in this is I got really mad this week,
Mhm.
and I definitely sent an email. Like I work like a professional job, but I sent an email, all caps, made the first sentence bold and 20-point font, and it was wonderful. Right? That's the closest you could get at an office job to just bitching somebody out. So yeah. But
Oh, that's too funny. No, I completely understand and sympathize with obnoxious people, though. I had some real obnoxious kids come through my trail this weekend. Um, funny enough, I only had one complaint. I'll fire myself later. Don't worry.
yeah.
She's getting reprimanded as we speak. Um, um, the kids' parents that complained aren't the parents I thought that were going to complain. Um,
Maybe the other parents know their kids a little.
I'm
Yeah, I
guessing.
don't know. I don't know how long we've been live if we're allowed to curse yet, but maybe they know he's a little jerk. So
Yeah, yeah, I'm guessing so. I had to laugh about that, but we got rained out on Friday, so we didn't even get to do my trail on Friday, unfortunately. And then I've got a hurricane coming this way,
yeah,
so we'll see how that goes. Super excited, super
yeah.
excited. It's gonna be great times. Good
See,
times to have
you
everybody.
the South is getting all of the rain. We're getting no rain. We have been so dry here, and all the leaves are supposed to be like this is supposed to be prime leaf season where all the leaves are nice fall colors. Nope, they're all still green. Everything's still in the trees. Yeah, we're getting no water at all up here. So
Oh no! Oh no! That's Oh, well, hopefully you guys get some rain soon. I'll be sure to send it in your
yeah,
direction. I'll be thinking of you for the rest of the week because it's supposed to rain here all week.
yeah.
I'm planning on taking down some decorations in the rain. And they withhold in the rain, but I don't know how comfortable someone's going to be with them turning into projectiles.
Yeah.
The possibilities there for some of these things, not all of them.
Yeah,
So,
for just the rain, okay. But yeah, you don't want everything to just blow away and then someone's got,
yeah, yeah.
a giant fake femur in through the roof.
I'll be honest. Last week with our other hurricane, God, I sound like a psycho saying. Last week with our hurricane that we had last week, I left my some of my decorations. They were still in boxes, but they were outside. I left the boxes outside, wrapped under a tarp, and I was afraid at midnight that those were probably gone. And now those decorations are outside of the boxes, sitting around. I can't handle doing that again. I will
Yeah.
have a nervous breakdown. So I have to go pick them up in the rain and put them away. It's gonna be a busy few days for me, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it. And then of course we've got everyone running to the grocery stores as if the world is ending. Um, Newsflash. If you guys are making apocalypse supplies and you're packing things away for various scenarios, just a word of the wise. When they say you need so much water, what they really need is you need something to drink. So if you don't drink water like ever, maybe buy stuff you drink, like juice, soda,
Yeah.
flavored something, Gatorade. It's odd to me because we have water on the shelves like all the time. And then as soon as a storm comes, the water is gone. And then a few months later, it's at the food banks and things. It's like, guys, if you do need to use these supplies, God forbid you do have to use them,
Mhm.
you're going to be mad as hell the whole time because you're stuck drinking things you don't want to drink and eating things you don't want to eat. So if you don't eat chicken noodle soup from the can, maybe don't buy it. Like just
Well,
think.
too,
No one wants your leftovers at the food pantry like that. They don't want split peas in a can. That's nobody. Who eats that?
I don't want all that cream corn that you're gonna that you stocked up on.
You're nasty and you need Jesus. Give them some ravioli,
Yeah.
like some Chef Boyardee's. Be normal.
Well, didn't you say last week too that like you always have some stuff prepared? Like I would imagine if you live in an area that gets hurricanes, tornadoes, other big weather events,
Mhm.
that you would not have a house that has zero supplies,
It's
right? Like
hurricane
shouldn't you
season.
already have some
It's
stuff ready to go?
considering we actually announce it's
Yeah.
hurricane season. Like they make a huge deal about it for like a week or two before hurricane season starts. And there's hardly ever a hurricane the first week of
Yeah.
hurricane season. I won't say never, I'm going to say hardly. So you usually have like, a couple of weeks to get it ready, but they tell you start buying your supplies early so you're not making
Yeah.
a mad dash last minute. If you're going to buy a generator, don't wait until the middle of hurricane
Oh
season and
yeah.
everybody's out of power. You're not going to find one. It's impossible.
Yep.
And no, 911 can't help you. They can't pull them out of their butts. Like, it's not how that happens. Sorry, if Home Depot doesn't have, makes you think anyone else does.
Yeah.
I suggest finding a neighbor and cuddling up, maybe. You know,
People do that here when it snows. They wait until the snowstorm hits and then because normally you just get normal snow, no big deal. But then you
yeah.
get those giant storms and you do have power outages, and then all of a sudden everybody decides they need a generator, and it's like, where you live, you know that this is a possibility. You should have prepared.
It always cracks me up. Apparently, they're out of toilet paper as well at the stores, and Dreadpool was so kind to point that out to me, and he started making the joke of, do they think they're going to soak up the water to get rid of the problem?
Well, I know you have to panic and you have to have 3 months worth of toilet paper just in case you can't ever leave your house again.
I mean, I would think if you're buying that much toilet paper, you're planning on food poisoning. I have concerns. I have questions.
It's
Why
only
are you giving yourself food poison in the middle of a hurricane? That seems like a bad idea. The water goes out. There was an area they told them to stop flushing because they had to shut the sewage pumps down. Do you know what happens once they do that? You try to flush, that comes back into your
your
pipe.
house.
So,
Yeah. So it's all the people that they bought all the cans of food they didn't want to eat last time, and they didn't eat them. So now the cans are like swollen, and they're going to eat them this time. That's how they're going to give themselves food poisoning.
I can't imagine.
Perry,
I'm waiting for Waffle House to open.
as I say, Perry said they're eating Taco Bell. Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah,
they
you're
are.
on that limited Waffle House menu, and it's just too much grease on the bacon there. And
I don't know if they do a limited menu after the storms. Usually, I think they try because they have their own generators. So
oh,
I don't think they do limited
we
menu.
they do. We don't even have a Waffle House, but you don't know how much I've read about Waffle House because I'm intrigued by Waffle House, their store response, and they do because if they don't have full power,
Mm-hmm.
they have a limited menu because it's only certain things on the griddle that they make.
Uh-huh.
So they already have a small menu. Like I've been to Waffle House once,
Mm-hmm.
and
Oh yeah, it's only like it's a front and back page. That's all it is.
yeah,
And
I
it's
was
kinda
like, wow, I
spaced
thought
out.
there'd be more stuff the way everyone talks about it. But I was like, okay. I mean, it was good, but I was like, I don't know.
Listen, Waffle House is amazing. It is simplistic food, and it is a godsend. Those people are amazing. They have
Yeah.
wonderful training and black belts. I mean,
Well, this is exactly what I was gonna say. I was gonna say I just like watching them fight on the internet. Like
they're
it's the people
amazing.
who work at Waffle House who are beating you up.
I mean, what more can you, it's a dinner and a show. What more can you ask for? And like
Yes.
if you go after a drunken night out, it's just amazing. The food is just amazing.
Okay, so you want to talk? This is gonna be complete tangent, but you want to talk about dinner to show because I love telling people this, and I very rarely can work it into conversation.
Hmm.
When I was in college, I went to my friends lived in Pittsburgh, so I went home to Pittsburgh. We went to a club, so it's 2 in the morning or whatever, and you go to this restaurant called the O Spot.
Hmm.
So we're there. There's like some dude is wearing like if you think of like in a cartoon you're gonna draw a pimp. Like some dude was dressed just like that with like the fur coat and the cane and the giant pinky ring and the hat with the feather. Like I was like, oh my god, you are a walking stereotype, man. I didn't think people really dress like that in real life. But it was winter, so it was slushy outside. So the floor inside the building was just soaking wet. That gross, like you get all like the salt and just
Yeah, you
grime.
know that nasty slush,
So
that end of the winter snow is
yeah.
just
So at
good.
2 in the morning, you buy a pizza for $5. That's what they serve.
Hmm.
Here comes this drunk girl with her $5 pizza that she's holding up in the air. She falls. She slips in the wet floor. Dude, she bites it hard. So she's
Oh,
laying on her back on the floor, but she manages to keep the pizza in the air. She saves the pizza. Her friends come over and grab the pizza. They don't help her. Like
oh,
she wasn't hurt. She was just but she's laying in a puddle of this nastiness, and they all took the pizza and like left her there to come up
oh
the
my God.
fire.
You know
Yes.
what?
So
Not even gonna
that was
lie.
dinner and a show. That
That
was
I would have been one of those friends. I would have taken the food and been like, "You
yeah
good? All right, bye." I would
yeah
have at least asked her, "You good? All
yeah.
right, good."
Don't lose my $5 pizza.
Listen, food is food, okay? Like, especially when you're in a night out, that is the most
Yes.
important thing. And the last thing you need is a bunch of drunk women hungry. It doesn't end well for
Yeah.
anybody within the vicinity. Just obnoxious, if I can say
Yeah.
so.
I feel like that was like my Pittsburgh version of Waffle House. I don't know. I would love Waffle House. I would love to be there and watch a fight break out. That would be heaven for me. I don't want to be involved in any drama. I hate drama. I want to be left alone. I
Mhm.
like watching other people's drama. That is what motivates me and keeps me fueled
That's
in life.
that's why we like Jerry Springer. Bring Jerry
Yes.
back.
Yes.
I want Murray back on TV. I mean, oh god, some of those. Oh, I remember staying home and watching the. Yeah, watching somebody else's drama is always amazing. When you're living in it,
Yes.
it sucks. My life's not even that dramatic, and it seems like the last 2 weeks have been hell.
Yeah.
And I would much rather watch someone else deal with this. Thank God things have worked out, but I'm tired of being so damn funny. I don't want to be traumatized anymore.
Exactly. You don't want to have to talk about your props being lost. You don't want to have to talk about you going to take down animatronics in the rain. You want to watch somebody else do it.
Yes, yes. I would much, but this is the thing. This is what kills me. Okay, whenever we get hurricanes, it usually rattles up and hits another state, right?
Hmm.
Are they prepping? Because you don't hear nothing about them prepping. All you hear about is the destruction. So, does no one else prep for hurricanes? Like,
I
does
don't
Georgia
think they
just
do.
look at hurricanes and go, not today?
I think Florida preps, and I think Texas should prep, but I don't think they do because every time they get hit with a hurricane, it's like it's the first time. So I don't know
Mm.
what they're doing in Texas. But I don't think the other states, I think they always just assume that they're not going to get hit because they're not the first point of contact normally. So they just, I don't know, they're just watching, laughing, and then they're like, oh my God, it's in my backyard. What do I do? I, I don't know.
Actually, you know what? I actually did live in Georgia for a little while during hurricane season one year, and it was interesting. We only ever had one storm that they ever mentioned on the news, and it was a Category 1 when it was hitting. It was going to hit
Mhm.
Florida first, and then come up and hit Georgia. Category 1, unless you're in a flood zone with the surge, it's not a big deal. A
Yeah,
category one's pretty, because as soon as they hit land, they start weakening usually. Usually,
usually.
and not always.
Not last week.
Usually. Um, so when I heard that it was going to hit Georgia, I was telling my friends and roommates, I was like, oh, don't worry about it. It'll just be a tropical storm. Probably even less than that. It'll probably just be like a thunderstorm by the time it gets
Yeah,
here. We're so far in, there's no way. I was right. It was a tropical storm when it came. Everybody around me lost their minds, though. It was like living in a cartoon or a sitcom. People are just running out the door to the store and everything else. And they're looking at me going, "You're from Florida. What do you do?" And I'm like, "Take me to the liquor store, you morons."
yeah,
What do you mean? What do you do? We got water in the house. We got food already. Listen, if the power goes out, you're eating cold stuff. I don't know what to tell you. Canned stuff? No, we're going to eat stuff out of the fridge first because I'm going to let my groceries go to waste.
yeah.
Playing that game. Sorry, kids. But I mean, supplies. I already got supplies. Like you said, I'm from Florida. I'm just expecting things to go wrong on a regular basis anyway. And quite frankly, the further up north I moved, the more paranoid I got about God knows what. It's like, you guys got snowstorms, earthquakes, tornadoes. What?
So when it snows, people here they get bread and milk. Those are like the two things that everybody has to go buy.
Why milk?
I don't know. I don't. I'll eat cereal
Mm-hmm.
occasionally. I
Yeah.
don't. I'll buy milk like once or twice a year. I don't ever use milk in anything. Like I
Mm-hmm.
don't know. Are they just making French toast? I'm not really sure. What are you doing with bread and milk? And if
What are
I'm
you
gonna
doing
stock
with
up,
if the power goes out? Because your milk goes bad if it's not kept cold. So are you like setting it out
yeah,
in the ice in the snow?
maybe. But then
Does it
too,
freeze?
if you have no power, you're just eating plain sad bread. I guess
Or
maybe you're making a peanut butter sandwich because when you I don't eat peanut butter and jelly, but when you open jelly, don't you have to refrigerate it?
I
I
would
I don't know.
I would
Maybe
go
you're
with
eating fluffernutters, I guess. I don't really know.
as the person buying the groceries, you're eating whatever in the fridge and can't stay first. It's going, oh, there's
Yeah,
ice cream. Guess what we're having for dinner,
yeah.
kids? Everyone's getting ice cream for dinner. Like, we've got a 10-pound turkey. We'll figure it out. Somebody somewhere has power, I'm sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
I don't know what people do. We just laugh at them. It's
yeah, I have questions about why milk.
yeah,
That just seems odd. It just seems like a strange choice. If you would tell me like they went out and bought cranberry juice or something, I'd be like, okay, that makes it's a juice. You can give it to old people, you give it to kids. It's an everybody type drink. You may not like it, but it's good for you.
my only guess is like cereal.
Hmm.
You put it in your coffee. I don't know what else you use milk for. Do you need milk when you bake a cake? I don't know. But maybe when you make things, you need milk. I don't know. Cereal's really the only like big thing that I can think of. I don't know. See, Frank said he laughs when people go nuts for snow, but his entire life he doesn't remember a snowstorm that we couldn't get out after one day, two tops. That's because Frank doesn't remember the blizzard of '96. But that was, I believe, the last like major snowstorm where it was days before we could all get anywhere. I don't even know how much snow we had. I was in school and they canceled our midterms, and thank God because I would have failed the English midterm. But since we just took it as a regular test, then when I got like a 50 something on the test, it wasn't, I'd have to tell my parents because it wasn't like midterm grades go on your report card, and they would
Yeah.
have found out. If they would have found out I got a 50 something, oh my God, I would have been in so much trouble. So I distinctly remember that. That storm. It saved me from getting in trouble.
I don't really remember any snowstorms ever being a problem for me when I lived up north. But I do remember one time I went out in Texas and I left the house in jeans and a t-shirt with no jacket, and it ended up snowing around noon for about 10 minutes. Very strange. Very, very strange. I just happened to walk outside and go, oh, oh, eh, okay. By the time I came back out later, it was fine. Strange
Yeah.
thing. Um, in a similar fashion, when I remember it snowing in July for like a
Huh.
day or two. When I mean, oh God, years and years ago. But that's about the most random of about the most issues I've had with snow. I just don't want to drive in it. I don't want to shovel it. I don't want to deal with it.
I
It's
don't
a
want to shovel. I don't mind the cold. Like it takes one day of being 80 and I'm over summer. I've had enough.
mm,
It takes like 4 or 5 months of really cold weather before I'm over it. It takes me a while to get tired of the cold. But the snow,
mm.
I hate shoveling. I hate snow blowing. I hate how parking lots are like crowded, right? Because they plow the snow, so they don't. They got pile it in the parking lot. It gets slushy when it melts. I just hate everything about snow. It's only fun when you're a kid,
I say the same
right?
thing. I tell people the same thing. They're like, "Oh, it's only because you've been in snow." And I'm like, "No, no, 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 no. The only time snow is fun is when you're a child. Because, like I said, you got to
Yes.
shovel it. You've got to drive in it. You've got to. It's a pain. It's
And
obnoxious after a while.
and
It's
even as a
pretty
kid,
first, but it gets old.
yeah, I feel like shoveling as a kid isn't even as bad as shoveling as an adult either, right? It's I don't know. It's just but then you go and you play in the snow. You play in the snow. You go sledding. You're making snow angels. You're having snowball fights. Like you're having fun. As an adult, you're just taking care of things and living in a gross, wet world. And yeah,
Yeah.
but it's okay because I don't know. We've been getting less and less snow, but and I'm totally okay with it. So now with La Nina, we're supposed to have
Mhm.
above average temperatures, but we're supposed to have more moisture. So I'm hoping that our above average temperatures push us above freezing, so we have a lot of rain and we don't have that like slushy snow because that's when the power goes out when it's slushy because then it's heavy and the trees come down, the power lines come down. So I don't know. We'll see what this winter brings, but hopefully not. Hopefully not lots of snow.
Sir X, but well, you know what, Sir X, but I've got like 2 weeks left of this nonsense, and then that's it. And
Yeah.
I'm done for another like 4 months before I got to worry about a possibility of a tropical storm. I'll take it. Snow's like 4 months long. Hurricane season's like a month and a half. I'm good. Besides, our tornadoes are far and few in between. That kind of worries me, especially now. I have had the experience of a tornado. They aren't what I thought they'd be. They don't sound what I thought they would sound like. I thought they were going to be ridiculously loud, like all the time. They're not. I thought they'd be real easy to spot. Not always.
I wonder though, like tornadoes in different parts of the country, are they different, right? Like snow
Maybe.
in even snow in Chicago is not snow in New York. Like,
That's
right?
true.
It's a
Yeah,
little bit
no, you got a point there. Yeah.
so if you're in the middle of Kansas where the elevation changes across the whole state by like two
Oh, I bet
inches,
those are nightmare
right?
tornadoes. Those things are probably
Yeah,
huge.
that's what I'm saying. I bet
I
you
mean, the amount of
those are
destruction those things do.
mhm.
We had one last year, and I think it flipped a car. That was
Yeah.
like the worst thing. I mean, I don't remember them saying it really did much in the way of damage because it was on a road. So it was like,
Yeah, we get tornadoes here very rarely, but they're small, so it's like one
yeah,
little path of destruction, and it's mostly like your trees get ripped up. It's a lot, mostly damage, and even when it hits houses, it's not like your whole house isn't flying away like Dorothy. It's like your roof gets messed up or something. So I feel like a Midwestern tornado is different than like a Florida or New York tornado, but I don't want to find out though. I really don't.
well, I mean, for me, it's just a reason for me to always have a brick house, like a mortar, like a
Mhm.
brick house, because things happen.
Yeah,
I'd rather not tempt anything.
yeah. Well, we hope that you prepare this week and, keep us posted, and hopefully it ends up shifting a little, downgrading something, and
I'm
yeah.
hoping when it hits land, it just turns into a tropical storm. I don't
Yeah.
care if let it be a cat one. It could be a category one. A category one on Florida is just like us kind of going, okay.
Yeah.
If cat ones hit us on a regular basis, and for the most part, Miami even's like, nice try. Miami gets hit on a regular too. So,
Yeah.
um, but 3 or 4, we might have some problems, and I'm not looking forward to it. I mean, my biggest concern is I'm gonna have to. Uh, well, if it wrecks the trail, it's down for the month. I will not be terrorizing the villagers
Hmm.
legally anymore. Anyway, doesn't mean I still won't terrorize my neighbors and things. I mean, I love terrorizing them, freaking
Yeah,
them
that's
out.
just for fun.
It's too easy. They make it too easy. Um, but I hope that the trail holds up okay.
Yeah.
We'll see though. But enough about this nonsense. Let's talk about something fun.
Yes.
Let's talk about. I keep bringing up the apocalypse because my mind is on the apocalypse. I wouldn't mind a zombie apocalypse. I've said that before and I'll say it again. If the world's got to end, I want to have fun. Like, it'll be an amazing time for most of us. For a lot of us, probably not, but it'll be a great time for some of us.
Hmm.
Although my husband will probably be one of the first few victims because he'll be going, "What's that noise outside?" and then looking. If you haven't seen it, there's a video on his channel. We went to a haunted house, and my husband's slow. So I left him. And I'm not ashamed of it. And he said, he's like, "Do you realize?"
Survival of the fittest.
Yeah, he said, "Do you realize you left me in there? I got lost." I was like, "I told you to move. I look, it's on camera. I look right at him. Move it. Keep up." At one point, I'd had enough. I was done. That nope, nope. And that's all I kept saying the rest of the way out of the house. Guy come running up with a chainsaw. I looked at him. Nope.
Nope.
He's watching me come running up. Ran by. The guy didn't see a chance. He's running right behind me. Never had a chance. Couldn't have caught me if he wanted to. He's like, "Nope, we're done. I'm out. Go get my husband. He'll be in there somewhere. You can have him." He wants to be a victim. Yes, I ran. No shame. I ran and I left him behind and I'd do it again.
So if there's a zombie apocalypse, he just needs to keep up with you, is what has to
I
happen.
I have told him that so many times. He drives me insane. Like, you're going to be the first one to die in these scenarios because he don't listen to anything I say. I could tell him, "Be quiet," and tiptoe through the room to get to the other. We don't want to attract attention. He'd just like fall over himself or something. Or just, "I got to go check out the window to see exactly what we're looking at." No, you don't. Take my word. You don't need to see it. If I'm running, you need to be running because I don't run. If
He
I'm
said
running, something's chasing me.
he said you ran a mile out from the exit.
I don't think it was quite a mile, but
Far
I
enough.
ran far enough. I ran past the line to get in. I know that because I figured he wasn't good. The guy with the chainsaw wasn't going to keep. I just didn't want him coming up to me, thinking that he was. It was more or less my senses in the haunted house that set it off. It wasn't necessarily the people, but it all just became overwhelming, and my adrenaline went, and I went,
Yeah.
"We're done. I need out." So, yeah, I just didn't need that guy with the chainsaw coming over and revving it in my face for me to look at him and go, "If you don't get that thing away from me, I understand you're doing a job. I'll beat you to death with it." No shame. I ran. I left my husband. I'd do it again. I'll probably leave him behind in the zombie apocalypse. Who am I kidding? I'll probably feed him to the zombies in the apocalypse.
Well, that's the thing is you don't need to be the fastest person. You just need to be faster than somebody else,
I say that all the
right?
time to the kids that
That's
get
all.
scared when they're walking through my trail. I tell them, kids, baby, listen, you don't have to be the fastest in your group. Do you know how to trip someone?
You know how to trip someone. I love it.
Problem solved, bro. You don't have to have luck on your side even then. Just saying. Just throwing that out there. Remember my wise words. I am
Yes.
not a role model. Do not do anything I say unless you want to be in a whole lot of trouble. I am insane.
But you are going to survive.
Well, maybe. Maybe as long as my husband doesn't let the zombies in the house, I'll be fine. I'll be fine. He'll probably accidentally leave the door open to go check a sound or something.
Yes.
What was that? Who cares? The windows and doors are locked. It's outside. As long as I'm not, as long as it's not inside, who cares? It's like there was a guy walking on the property. Is he outside?
Not my problem.
Don't care. If he comes inside, it's going to be a great time for me to be had, but I don't think he's going to appreciate it much. Don't ruin my fun. Some people. Okay. Back to the apocalypse, though. Movies. I will let you go first as usual because once again, I could rattle off every zombie movie probably ever made.
Okay. So this one. Okay, so I have and I'm gonna have to read this from my phone because I want to make sure I read exactly what my note says. I have in my phone. I have the list of all the different movie subgenres, and I've been taking notes. So this way, whatever one we do, I'm prepared. I already have my notes ready to go. So today you're like, okay, let's do zombies, and I said, okay, good. Let me go check my notes. Let me see what I wrote down. I wrote down, who cares? Who wants to still be alive? That's exactly what I wrote about zombie movies.
That's funny. I think it'd be fun for a little while. It may not be fun forever, but it'd be fun and entertaining for a while. At least you'd have an option. Besides, I want to do things like I don't know, throw a giant wheel of cheese down a hill in Wisconsin and like maybe lead some zombies into the Grand Canyon.
I don't
I
know.
mean, fun things.
I think I'm just gonna hide in my house and hope they don't get me. But then, okay, so then I wrote that as a note, and I was like, oh, figures. Of course, this is what I did to myself. I wrote this as my note. So I googled like top zombie movies.
Hmm.
So I read through the list of the top 50 movies,
Hmm.
and I said, okay, I've seen one of these, which was Evil Dead 2. But then I was like, which one was that again? So then I watched a clip from Evil Dead 2, and then I realized, no, wait, I didn't see Evil Dead 2. So I don't even know if I've ever even seen a zombie horror movie. I really don't.
Oh my. Okay. No, wait. That's not
There-
possible. No, that's not, I can almost guarantee you've probably seen Night of the Living Dead. It's
No,
the George Romero black and white.
nope,
Barbara, they're coming to get you, Barbara. They're coming for you now. Here they are. Really? Okay.
no, I've never seen it.
How about Dawn of the Dead, the
Nope,
remake? 28 days later, 28 weeks.
nope. These are all on the
Zombieland.
list. These are all on the list of
Warm
the top
Bodies.
50
Warm
zombie
Bodies
movies.
is kind of like a romance zombie movie.
Nope. I
Um,
did see not a movie, but what was that? They made a show based off a video game and had the guy from The Mandalorian.
oh,
I watched like the first two episodes of that
oh
show.
my
I
God!
think that
I
maybe
just know what the name of that was, and I forgot what it is now.
I think that may be the only zombie thing I've watched, really. I don't know.
Hmm. Okay, well,
Right? And like I said, we only watched the first two or three episodes of it, so I don't even know how it ended. Beats me.
hmm,
But like I said, not a movie. Last of Us.
Yeah, that's what it is. Last of Us.
Hmm.
I haven't watched it yet. I played the video game, but I haven't watched the TV show. Um, I'm surprised. I'm genuinely shocked because normally, like, I started my kid out on black and white horror movies. That's the
Hmm.
easiest way to sink somebody into watching horror, to get them to do it. You get them to watch some black and whites. They're not as gory. There's usually much more to do with story than anything else. Night of the Living Dead plays on every channel, I think, around Halloween. It's free. They don't have it copyrighted anymore. So you're allowed to, that's why, like, you can watch it on YouTube, you can upload it and all kinds of things, and they can't do anything about it.
Hmm.
Romero and his partner, when they made it, they messed up because they didn't file the right paperwork. So they only owned
Okay.
the rights to it for like a year,
Oh
which is
wow.
also how they've had a couple of really, really bad remakes. So that's also why he continued with the series, though. It was always something he wanted to do, but he did it right after that. He got the paperwork correct.
Yes.
Go figure. But
I know. I was shocked. I thought, like, okay, I just can't think of one, but I read through the list. I'm going to find a movie that I've seen, and then as I'm going through, I'm like, wow, I really have never seen any of these. I was
I'm
shocked.
surprised. I am surprised. Hmm. Okay, hold on. Question. I've never seen zombies go in the water. The
He
Living
rephrased.
Island.
Sir X-Men
Yeah.
rephrased the question. He said, "Has there ever been a zombie movie where they go into the water?" Because he doesn't think he's ever seen one.
Um, there is. There is. It was a John Romero movie, Land of the Dead. In Land of the Dead, the zombies start thinking. They've been around for a few years. They start thinking, and people have moved on to like an island type scenario. And the zombies do go in the water to get over to the other part of the land because they pull up a bridge behind them, so the zombies can't get in. And yeah, they go into the water into, I don't know if it's a river
Do
or what's separating them, but yeah.
do zombies really have brains?
Uh, Depends on the movie, depends on the franchise. There's Return of the Living Dead. They do have more thought. They're more motivated to eat your brains and only your brains in those movies, because as long as they're eating something's brain, they're not feeling themselves rot from the inside out. They
Okay.
actually, one of the zombies actually explains it and talks in the movie. They
Oh,
talk, there's one that says brains, and another one, when they ask her, why are you trying to eat our brains? They explain because it hurts. Them rotting
hmm.
and dying and being
Okay.
dead hurts, but when they're eating our brains, they feel fine. And
So
then,
I know from playing Plants vs Zombies that the zombies are looking for brains.
yeah. Well, then warm bodies, the whole thing is the zombies start turning back into humans based over their thoughts and love or
Hmm.
something. I can't quite remember exactly. The first one turns back to human because he's in love, pretty much. At least that's what I always got from it. But there were other zombies that started turning back humans, and I think it was more or less like, as long as they weren't too far gone, I
Hmm.
guess they could
Okay.
think themselves back to life. I don't really know. And then there was another movie where the zombies thought, give me a minute, I had the name just a second ago and I forgot. There's quite a few though. They do quite a few of those. Like I said, it just depends on the movies. Oh, zombies. That's what it is. Zombies. They
Okay.
don't realize they're zombies. It's a group of four people, and they don't realize that they're actually the zombies. They think everyone else is a zombie. So they're running around town and things thinking that everyone else is zombies, when the reality is, when you switch to other people's point of view, everybody else is fine. They're zombies, but they're
Oh, that's
holding
cool.
conversations and talking and things. It's a really good movie. It's a really good movie. It's
Hmm.
an interesting movie.
Yeah.
Very different. But that's another one where they talk and think.
Okay.
I can think of offhand, but I'm sure there's more that I just haven't thought of. But
Hmm.
I know there's another one for Romero's set of movies. One of the bad ones, really bad ones. The name will come to me later. One zombie starts thinking, but he's supposed to be like a smart zombie. It was just dumb. He's obsessed with a woman.
Hmm.
Even in death, they will do anything for love. Even when she wants to put a bullet between his eyes. But
Yeah.
details, details. Stalking is romantic in movies, don't you know?
I know it really is kind of creepy, but
I think they have a fetish in Hollywood with stalking. And it's like you guys wonder why people get stalked when they're stars and stuff. You guys are essentially saying like everybody who ever loves people just does it. If you don't stalk someone, you're not in love with them.
and if you stalk somebody long enough, they're gonna fall in love with you. Not that they're gonna call the police, try to get a restraining order, and try to move and change their job and uproot their life to get away from you. No, they're gonna love you.
I mean, in some cases, those people come up missing.
Hmm.
Why on earth you'd want to go missing on purpose, I can't quite understand because it doesn't work out well for everybody. But so, all right, well, I guess I could sit here and just keep telling you rattling.
Yeah. So Tessa, what's your favorite zombie movie?
Well, I think I'm gonna have to go first with Night of the Living Dead is one of my first because that's the original that got me um, into the zombie movie. I like
Okay.
that one. He and Romero's the first one to actually introduce dead zombies. Before that,
Hmm.
the movie White Zombie wasn't actually like a living dead person. It was a uh, cursed or voodoo laden zombie. It wasn't an
Oh,
actual living dead
interesting.
zombie. So Romero's the first one to introduce this version that we know of zombies, which is cool. So gotta love that movie. And like I said,
Okay.
it's great to show people and kids that aren't into those things. And there's fun facts. Like if you watch the zombies eating people and things, you can see like even though it's black and white, you can see like the darker syrup on it. And if you know what you're looking at, it's like, oh, they're eating a turkey leg with chocolate syrup. Oh,
Yeah.
that that's gross. And they're just going to town on it. Like
Yeah.
it just looks so nasty. And it's like, yeah. But yeah, I just like the movie and the acting is really good. The script is very basic, but I think everyone does a really good job with their roles.
Yeah.
So I think it was perfectly well cast. Um, so it's one of my absolute
Yeah.
favorites.
Perry
Well,
said that he loves the remake of that, and he said that Resident Evil creators took a lot from the Night of the Living Dead remake.
yeah, yeah. The Resident Evil movies weren't bad at first for a while. I will still watch Resident Evil because
Hmm.
at this point I'm in too deep. I gotta see it through.
Yeah.
I'm really kind of annoyed with those movies and the shows and things. The cart. I am so tired of them spreading out a storyline with 50. Stop it! Stop it! We don't need 20 movies, 3 TV shows, a couple of animated features, and like a half-hour documentary. Stop it! I don't know. Maybe stop. It's a zombie movie. Why are we still going with this franchise? Um,
The same reason that we're on, like, the 947th Saw movie. If people are still going to consume the
I
products, they're
still have
still going to
questions
make it.
about that. They're supposed to be. I think they're coming out with another one. I got questions about how they're
Yeah.
doing that. Why? Why?
The guy who, okay, if I'm spoiling this for you, sorry everybody, but it can't be because I saw it on the internet and I don't even
Ruin it
watch the
for
Saw
us.
movies. The guy the guy who died in like the first or second movie, he's back in the new movie. Which I don't
Yeah,
understand
John. His
how the
name
heck
is
is he
John.
back if the guy died? I don't know.
I don't think he's supposed to be. He died, and what cracks me up is when he took the first role, he was, oh God, it was what, 20 years ago? So he's 20 years older.
He's
Stop it.
probably annoyed that they're still making Saw movies, but he's like, well, it's paycheck, so let's go.
Like, we can't get a Jason versus Freddy remake, but we got this.
Yeah.
I don't know
But
about.
that's why so many people, I mean, Resident Evil is just such a beloved franchise that I think that they'll keep making it because the fans want it. And I don't know if they want new stuff or if they just want the old stuff remade. I'm not really sure of, but I think that there's enough. I know there's enough of a following on the video games for Resident Evil, so I imagine they're the same people who want to watch the movies and the shows and just want everything Resident Evil.
Mhm.
So you're in deep, and you're going to stay deep because it's not. I don't think it's ending anytime soon.
I'd say Resident Evil movies are zombie movies or X-Men. I mean, at least that's what I consider them, because a virus is a virus, and that's all the zombies are
Mhm.
based on, is a virus. I mean, there was never really any definitive rules. It's why there's so many different kinds of zombies. We get slow-moving zombies. That virus probably isn't well, I'm going to stop myself right there. Humanity has already explained to me several times why they can't handle things. But I would think in a zombie apocalypse, if they're slow, humanity might stand a chance.
If I'm a zombie, I'm a slow moving zombie. So the only way I'm gonna eat brains is if the kids trip his friend. So now it's easy pickings because he's laying on the ground. Other than that, you're all safe. Or I'll get dread as he comes outside as I'm making noise to lure him out the front door.
It'll be all right. Eventually, someday. But 28 Days Later is another really good zombie movie. That's an excellent zombie movie. Those are fast zombies. Those are terrifying zombies. Much better than World War Z zombies, though. World War Z zombies reminded me of like fish out of water. They're fast zombies, but they like do these like twitch thing, and they did it so they'd be scarier. There's a book that movie's based on. The book was amazing. The book, not so much like the movie. The book's a
Mhm.
lot different. The movie's boring compared to the book. The book is really interesting. It's a bunch of letters and reports and things from different people, different countries, states, all these, and it's all put into, so you're looking at it in like a first person view, as if you're
Yeah.
finding all of these things as you
Okay.
go. And it's good. What we got was Brad Pitt. We got a lot of Brad Pitt. If they were going to keep it closer to the book, we would have had a lot of other people. So kind of boring. And like I said, the zombies looked like fish out of water, and they flowed like fish. They really did. They got together in like clumps and waves. It just like ran down corridors and stuff, and it was like, there's no hiding and running and saving yourself from this. If this happens, just go with it. Just go with it is my advice, because you're not surviving that. That's a tidal wave of flesh, you
Yeah.
could say. Um,
I think I played World War Z. I think that was the game that I played, and it was stupid, and I just got frustrated, and I played for like an hour, and I was like, nope, I'm done, never again. It was foggy, and I had to like set up my campsite, and I had to go collect a whole bunch of stuff off the mountain.
mm,
But then like the zombies just ran, like they appeared out of nowhere, and I like I don't know, the way you had to shoot him. I thought the mechanic was kind of difficult, and then I don't know, it's just going to be too much. It was going too slow, and I was like, okay, this is not moving along fast enough. This is just me collecting sticks and rocks, and then I don't need this. So yeah, it was lame.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah,
I I probably played about 10 minutes and quit.
yeah,
It
it
happens.
was man.
Yeah, some games are like that. No, they're supposed to be coming out with another 28. I guess 28 years later. I guess they're gonna call it. I would think that's what
Hmm.
they're gonna call it because first was 28 days and then 28 weeks. So I imagine it's 28 years later for this one. That'll be interesting because those guys were terrifying but survivable at the same time. They're quick zombies. Um, they don't roll in tidal waves, so I like that. It's survivable. I don't see a wall of teeth coming directly towards your face with those ones.
Yeah.
A little more realistic, but some of those movies. Del Toro's making a Frankenstein movie,
You got to read the rest of the comment though.
but the guy playing Frankenstein is another sexy guy. I don't know why we're doing Frankenstein again. I think the originals were pretty good, honestly. I think the last few
But
Frankenstein movies have been absolute. No, I said dog shit.
not only Frankenstein, but a sexy Frankenstein. Now, okay, now I'm going to say
We already have sexy Frankenstein. That was I
I've
Frankenstein. It was
no,
what's
I've never seen a Frankenstein movie before. And isn't it the whole thing that like everyone thinks the monster's Frankenstein, but that's like no, it's Dr. Frankenstein and then it's his monster, but
yeah.
everyone refers to the big dude as Frankenstein.
Hmm.
All
Yeah.
I'm saying is if I'm a scientist and I'm making a giant monster,
Hmm.
a six pack of abs is not number one of the things I need to make sure my monster has. Like, I don't know. There's a lot of other things I think would be more important than a buff guy.
As a woman, if I'm building a man from scratch, yeah, I'm probably going to make him sexy. Not even going to lie. But I'm also going to give him probably two brains and like an overstock of blood flow. Because if I have to hear one more time that they have two heads and only one brain and only so much blood can go in one area, he's not going to have that excuse. You got two brains and too much blood. What's your problem now, buddy? So that's
See,
all.
but but I'm making my dude. I'm just gonna make him like a killing machine.
I
Although I don't
think
know,
that would be natural.
maybe a six pack abs makes you better at killing though, because now like people can't punch you because they're just gonna it's like punching a brick wall. If you
Mhm.
get knocked over, you'll have the core strength to just pop right back up. I don't know. Maybe it's a tactical decision.
I would think, well, I mean, the old saying goes, what's dead should stay dead. So I would imagine bringing anything back to life instantly just kind of gives you a bit of a evilish touch and probably most likely serial killer status.
Hmm.
You just need to get in there. Believe in yourself. You can do it. Um, I don't know why they would bother making Frankenstein a monster, though. He wasn't supposed to be a monster. He was misunderstood originally. That's what the movies for ages have gotten wrong, is that he wasn't supposed to be this, like, horrible person. He was sad. It was tragic. It was heartbreaking. I mean, he didn't know what he was. Didn't Nobody loved him. It's lonely. We're pack creatures,
But
unfortunately.
see, if he's sexy Frankenstein, is he lonely and unloved and no one likes him because he's a sexy dude? So maybe is he like popular now?
I
I don't
would
know. Does it
imagine it'd be
change the
much
story?
easier. I'd imagine it'd be much easier. There are, just like there are shallow men out there that don't ask questions, there are going to be shallow women out there that don't
Yeah.
ask questions. And I imagine if Dr. Frankenstein gave him a tall enough wallet to like back his talk up on, nobody would care. Like all he would have to do is say, I came from the castle on the hill, and they're not going to care who he is, where he came from, what his name is. They're going to follow him up there. Any one of them would have been Frankenstein's bride.
Mhm.
It's money. Money's always, especially around the time that the story is supposed to take place in. Hell, I bet now if Dr. Frankenstein made a monster, it'd probably go the same way now. Our society has kind of done a circle back around. Just saying. But
Okay, so no sexy Frankenstein. We'll see what's happening with that. So okay, so what other zombie movies do you like?
oh, okay. Zombies. That one I mentioned that one earlier. That's that's.
We're getting deep questions to really make you think in the chat tonight. Really deep questions. I think that see RWK is not in the chat because I guarantee you he would have the answer to that. I'm sure he's right. You just with the things that he says, I'm sure he would have a good
you
response.
know, I think that might actually almost be considered giving yourself a stranger. Yeah, I mean, I would think it'd be because think about it. It's never back then the technology to actually attach limbs that were accidentally cut off and things didn't exist. So repairing a nerve that you would need for motion of these things probably not there. So I'm just saying he probably doesn't have the right feelings. That's probably a stranger. But yeah, I'd say giving himself a stranger, if anything. And on fun fact, he wouldn't know where the hand came from, so it would be a stranger. Mm.
But does he know? Like, okay, because like I said, I've never seen a Frankenstein movie. Are you saying that Frankenstein can't use his hands?
No, he can use his hands. I'm just saying I don't think he has real feeling in his hands. I think if he can grip things, he probably can't feel them very well. He's probably got no nerves because the nerves would have been severed. So I
So
imagine.
okay, so then I'm going to go out on a limb then and say that there's not nerves and feeling in other parts of the body
Well,
that you're
that's debatable.
touching,
That is
right?
that's not actually true, though. That is debatable. I have a reason for this.
DJ says it's extra self love.
Yes, it is extra self love. No, think about it. The body of Frankenstein, the torso of Frankenstein, is usually one solid piece. His
Oh,
neck,
okay.
from the neck down, is one solid piece. His legs, his arms, and his head all have to be attached. So those probably wouldn't have the feeling.
Okay. So
And your
so the
brain doesn't have
torso is
to.
one solid piece.
So the torso,
Okay.
because it is one solid piece, he would have feelings for things. So I think, yeah, I think he'd be considered a stranger,
Okay.
giving yourself a stranger. And it'd be fun because it would be a stranger's hand, technically speaking. Imagine if you asked the doctor to change it out. Hey doc, I've already used this hand 3 times this week. I need a new one. Need a fresh one. Need a new stranger. I'm getting a little tired.
Okay, but then what if it's not a stranger because you know whose hand it is? Like what if it's like oh god, I would regret even saying this. What if it's like a family member's hand? Right? I don't know. What if it
Hmm.
like I was gonna say what if it's your mortal enemy's hand, but maybe then that would be like
See,
revenge. I don't know, but
honestly, the whole Frankenstein building thing never made a whole lot of sense to me to begin with. Like, okay, if we want the perfect body, why don't we just go out and find someone who's like super close to Because basically, Dr. Frankenstein was looking for was a giant. There are plenty of those running around. Go find one. You didn't have to cut up bodies, sew another one together, and you know what I mean. Like it just seems like I could be thinking about this lately. It seems like a lot of work. Like I personally, I'm gonna go find like a really tall person, and if I have to have them as a dead body, whatever, poison them or something. Like
So wait,
why am
so
I
this
cutting
is
up parts and putting it back together? What is this? Build a bear? Like
so I never thought about why he was building a monster. Never occurred to me. So if he just wants a giant, does this mean that you have like an average sized torso with then like incredibly long legs and arms? Like everything's disproportioned.
I got there are questions that will probably never be answered. I've had these
Hmm.
conversations with people. Um, I've sat around a lot over the years and discussed random movies and monsters. I actually have a Frankenstein animatronic. So at least once a year I get into a conversation with why is he so damn tall and his arms are short? But why are his legs so long? Where the legs come from? And if the legs were attached to a tall person, why don't we have the rest of the body already? Like why did
Well,
we feel the need to cut up a whole body, put all these pieces together when it wouldn't have
maybe
been easier just to replace the brain?
maybe the rest of the body got crushed somehow, and the legs were the only piece that were not mangled,
Mm-hmm.
and the only arms he could find were short arms. Oh, excuse me. Sorry if I'm
Then you put
blowing
them
your
on the
eardrums
rack to
out with my
stretch them
Steve.
out. Stretching rack. Get them on. I just, I guess maybe just being lazy and thinking about it. Like I would have just found a giant and poisoned him. I mean, they're trying to claim, yeah, mountain's a natural thing. That guy from Game of Thrones, I don't know his real name. The guy is a beast. He's huge, and apparently he is naturally grown. Like I'm not sure I buy it. I think there was some Miracle Grow mixed into that boy's formula or
Hmm.
something, because like that, or he was hatched in a dispensary egg or something. There's no way. Guy's like 8 feet tall. He's huge. They say that natural. So that tells you that tall people have existed for a while because
Hmm.
his family genes came from somewhere. They didn't just show up and decide to start growing to be over 7 feet tall. So find a tall person because really that's all Frankenstein ever got into was that I mean, it's not like they were really muscular.
I have a feeling that we have given Frankenstein more thought than Doctor did, or than anyone in that universe even gave any thought to it.
Hmm.
Because then, if he was giving it so much thought, like he would have just gone and found a giant. He obviously didn't give it that much thought that he had to Frankenstein someone together.
But you put that much thought into Frankenstein and something together, you'd think like the Frankensteining of the brain go, I'm gonna get in a boat and go look for a giant across the sea.
Well, I don't know. Maybe this was just his excuse, is he wanted to sew people together, and not that I want a really tall person's really a reason to sew people together, but right, like maybe he that sounded better than just a weirdo who wants to experiment on bodies. I, I don't know.
Mm, yeah, that's a good point. That is a good point. That's a very good
I don't
point.
know.
Best zombie video was Thriller. Yeah, no, that's probably one of the best music videos ever made,
Mhm.
honestly. Back when music videos had stories and kind of had something to do with the song in which they were representing.
Yeah.
Nowadays, everybody's jumping around in bright colored clothes in a white room. What does this have to do with anything? I don't know, but
Do they even make music videos anymore? I didn't think they made videos because no
they're
one plays
usually bad.
videos.
A lot of them are bad. A lot of them are really bad. Yeah, you can find them and watch them. They're just not great. Like I watched one for a popular song that won an award at one of the last music award shows.
Mhm.
and it won for like best video too. And I was like, really? She spent the whole video working out, and like she
Hmm.
didn't even work out right. Like
Bad
you
technique.
ever watch somebody in a gym and they're just looking to get hurt? They have no clue what any of the equipment does, which that's fine if you don't know how to use it, but they're using it like purposely wrong.
Mm.
Yeah, that was her in a whole video. And I'm just like, how did this win anything? This isn't like, it doesn't even have anything to do with the song. Make it make sense, guys. Nothing does. But then I sound like an old boomer. Like, I don't get today's music. These kids, there's just something wrong with them. They need Jesus in their lives. Well, they probably need an ass whooping, but that's a whole different story.
Yeah.
So,
So Perry said in the chat that the funniest death in a horror movie was Vincent Price and Edward Scissorhands. Here are your new arms, with wide eyes, drops dead. Do you think Edward cleaned up the body properly?
not a chance. He didn't know he couldn't do anything with his hands. So, yeah, probably not. It probably went very messily. Oh,
I
I
forgot.
that's
I forgot that Vincent Price was even in that movie. But
yeah.
yeah,
Mom
I
and
don't. I'm
I had
with
this
you though. I don't think that he can. I don't think he can like hold a broom or a dust mop or a regular mop. I mean, he can't clean it up if he wanted to.
Mom and I have actually talked about this because it was on TV a couple weeks ago. And she was like, "What do you think he did to the body? Like, do you think he just left it there and was just hanging out with a rotting corpse for a couple of weeks?" And I said, "No, I don't think so." And she's like, "Do you think he buried him?" And I went, "No, absolutely not. I'm positive there was a furnace in that house, though. And I'm almost positive, not for nothing, maybe he took him piece by piece because that would have been the easiest way for him to transport him from one
Yes.
room to the next. And since he couldn't really grab, he kind of had to do like a imagine if you're taking a chopstick and stabbing a piece of sushi, maybe. Yeah, that's like the best thing I can think of is like sushi getting stabbed,
Yeah.
and that's how I imagine he did it. I imagine it was somewhat cleaned up, but probably not really. Like, I imagine there wasn't a corpse rotting on the floor.
I
I
agree. He
imagine
had to have chopped him up. That makes the most sense because he has scissors.
it would make a whole lot of. How else are you going to carry a body? I mean, let's say he weighed like 170 pounds. How are you carrying that on 10 knives? You're not balancing that. You're not balancing that much weight on that
Yeah.
little of knives. It's definitely going to cut through. So you might as well just make it easy and less traumatizing than
So
trying to do that.
apparently Wikipedia says that Pinhead came over for beer and pizza and helped Edward dispose of the body. I have a feeling that Wikipedia doesn't really say that.
I have a feeling whoever filled that out was full of it because I don't think that. I mean, I don't think they're in the same universe, but I mean, anything's possible.
Yeah, I don't know.
I can see the head being in the freezer, though. I'm not even gonna lie.
It chopped him up, put his pieces in a Ziploc bag in the freezer for later.
That I can see.
Oh.
That I can see. Hmm. Okay, listen, Dripple. Yes, I like the Eminem LL Cool J video. That song is amazing. I will listen
What
to it and watch the video 50 times in a row.
what video is this? What song are they on together?
um, oh, they just released a new
This
song
is one
together.
of his from Eminem's new album.
Yeah, I don't. Well,
Okay.
I don't actually. I can't say that. I don't actually know if it's from Eminem's new album or if LL Cool J is coming out with an album. Because I mean, remember back in the day, LL Cool J was a rapper a
Yep.
long time before he ever was an actor. So, oh, the song's amazing. It's then the best of all. I mean, this is my favorite part. The beat's produced by Q-Tip, and you can tell it's a Q-Tip beat. If you know Q-Tip's music, you can tell it's his work on there because it's a good song. It's a really good song. It's got a really good beat. Um, I'm trying to find the name of it. Murdergram DX, and it's an LL Cool J featuring Eminem. So,
Okay.
but it's really good. I like a lot of their new stuff. Go figure. I don't know who made them mad to get back in the game to do this, but I'm okay with it. Keep pissing them off. It's making the rest
Yeah.
of us giggle. I think it's great. Cancel them, sure, go for it. Go right ahead. The FF or the FCC couldn't do it, but I'm sure you guys can. I'm sure it'll work out great. But
Will Smith was a rapper too before he was ever an actor. Um, when I think of
mm,
when I think of Will Smith rapping, I think of Getting Jiggy with It.
yeah, I think about
Wild
maybe
Wild
like
West.
4 different songs, and none of them were real. I mean, they were popular songs, and they're still good, but they're not. I wouldn't consider him a rapper. I just wouldn't. I don't think he's. I think he's too manufactured now.
Yes, he's not a rapper in the same sense that LL Cool J was a rapper. I think that they're different
Yeah, I don't.
classifications
I don't think
of
Will Smith
artists.
wrote his own stuff. I not that that matters one way or another, but I think it says something for their particular set. Rap, you normally have to be able to freestyle and battle and things, you know. I mean, and if you're not writing your stuff, well, I just think he's more manufactured.
Yeah.
He wasn't bad, he's just manufactured, but he had a few hits. I'll give him that. I mean, and he's done a few hits since then. I don't
I was,
like him now.
I was gonna say I think most of his stuff too. Not I'm not saying all, but I think a lot of his stuff was tied in to the movies and the shows and the projects he was working on.
That's
And like
true.
like
Yeah.
they're saying in the chat about Nightmare on My Street by Will Smith. Like, okay, he wasn't in that movie, but it was, entertainment related. I think most of his stuff all has to do with the entertainment industry.
Yeah. That's
But
pretty much true. I mean, Summertime came out right before Fresh Prince of Bel Air. Parents just don't understand before Fresh Prince of Bel Air. Men in Black came out with the movie. Um, Getting Jiggy with It, and what was the other one? We're like in between movies. I think right around like when he did the Independence Day movies.
they hear the Wild West song that was with a movie.
That yeah, that's another. That one was made specifically. I mean, quite a few of
Mhm.
these were made specifically for soundtracks. So yeah, I kind of think he was more manufactured.
Yeah.
He's got skill, but I wouldn't put him in the same category as the rest of them by any means. I mean, now if we're talking about people getting slapped and slapping people, he's definitely top of the line for that one. I mean, Strange Marriage, sure. Absolutely. I wish his wife would stop talking.
There's a lot of people I wish we would stop talking. Like, there's certain things I don't need to know about your life. Like, that is TMI. Like, please stop. We don't want to know. We don't ever want to know. That's disgusting. Keep it to yourself.
Pretty much. Pretty much. I just feel bad for him and the kids. It's like, did she ever stop to think, like, did we really need to know these things? Wouldn't
Yeah,
it
your
have been
kids don't
better
need to
to
know
just
these
deny
things.
these things?
Yeah.
Like, if there's
That's,
no proof, let it go and deny, deny, deny.
yeah. There's a lot of famous people like just think, please, we don't want to know. We all could have lived without ever knowing this. This is, you know,
It's very true. Yeah, it's like
please.
that
Whatever
comment.
you do is fine, but like,
I
no,
can't
stop.
remember what celebrity couple it was, but there was a celebrity couple not too long ago. People were all upset because they said they don't wash their kids. They don't make their kids shower every day, and they don't
Kristen
shower.
Bell and Dak Shepard.
I didn't need to know that you stink, bro. I'm never getting close to you anyway, so I really never needed to know any of these things. Stop talking. Sometimes you should stop talking.
And like, no one cares what you do because you have resources that the rest of us don't have. So who really cares what you do? You live in a different world than we live. So
Oh
it doesn't matter. Like, doesn't matter what
yeah.
happens to your life.
We're all in this together videos during
Yes.
we're all in this together. No, we're not.
No.
No, we're not. I'm not sitting in a 25 trillion billion dollar home
Yeah.
with my nanny, my housekeeper, my personal chef,
Yeah.
my chauffeur. Like, sweetheart, we are not in this together. Let's be
No.
real. Even your staff isn't in this with you. Okay?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they should really stop talking. This is what people need to stop putting them on pedestals, though. Stop
Yeah.
making these people feel like gods. They are not, they are just as dumb as we are.
Yeah.
Think of it this way: the dumbest person you know is probably just as smart as your favorite celebrity. I want you to think about that. Their morals are probably right on the same playing field.
Yeah.
Right? No pedestals. That's why when people are like, oh, I can't listen to this anymore. They're a terrible person. Oh, I can't watch these anymore. They're a terrible person. I don't know. I don't care. Probably are terrible people. With money usually comes corruption. So,
Yeah.
do I think most of them are wonderful? Yeah, no. But I'm not going to hang out at their house either. Problem not there for me. But yeah, rich people are weird.
Yeah.
Find me a rich person and I will show you how weird they can be. Guarantee they are much weirder than anyone thought. No, Hollywood doesn't think.
We totally strayed so far from zombies.
We did. We did. We did. Okay, back to zombies. All right, so I've mentioned Night of the Living Dead, 28 Days Later, Odd Zombies. Oh gosh, there's so many of them. There's so many horror movies, so many zombie movies actually. Um, Zombieland, obviously 1 and 2. I thought Zombieland personally, the first one is much better than the second one. The second one is tolerable. I really hope they stop because it's probably going to get really bad with the next one. Z Nation is not a movie, it's a TV show. I highly recommend it for anyone who likes zombie movies because it's everything The Walking Dead started out to be and then dropped. And it answers all the apocalyptic questions that everybody always asks. Like, I'm sure if you watch zombie movies and you guys sit around and start talking, you start thinking about all the things that are going to go wrong if the zombie apocalypse happens, like power plants, sewage plants, things like that. Most of the time, movies and TV shows just kind of glance over that one. It's not there. We can't see it. It's not there, type thing. Z Nation kind of rolled that into the show. So that was nice because there are a few episodes where they're dealing with a malfunctioning nuclear power plant.
Okay.
They do end up dealing with that, kind of.
Well, that's a good point because if there's because I don't watch zombie movies. If there's a zombie apocalypse that happens, like, is every movie different? Is there some sort of event that happens that turns people into zombies, right? Because there's zombies and non-zombies.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you know who's like, how do people get turned into zombies in the first place?
Well, usually it's got to do with a virus, and it's usually transferred by bites. In most movies and TV shows, it's bites. in some movies and TV shows, there's a virus that we have in our, we're exposed to a virus, and once we die from another cause, that's when we can turn into a zombie as well. So you can either get bitten, or if you die from natural causes, you can come back as a zombie. Like in The Walking Dead, we all are infected with it already. So if you get bit, you turn. But if you die from a heart attack, you come back. Same thing with Z Nation.
Okay. So that's a good point then, because like, who's to say that the dude working at the nuclear power plant doesn't have a heart attack and die? So now he's a zombie, and then he goes and bites all of his coworkers. So like the whole first shift, they're all zombies. And if they're zombies, they're not working at the power plant. That's a
Yeah,
good point. You are going to have problems
yeah,
because, right? Not right. All the people who drive the plow trucks, some of them are going to be zombies. So it's going to snow, and some of your roads are not getting plowed.
I mean, if the apocalypse comes and you're hanging out in one spot for too long, I don't think it'd probably work out well anyway. If the movies and shows have showed us anything, it's that when you're stationary for too long is when there's a problem. But you also have to think: should you be able to get away with without the sewer plants burning down, without the nuclear power plants combusting and setting off nuclear radiation for miles and miles? Um, what about other things you've got to deal with, like hordes? What if you get a ton of zombies?
What did
A
you just?
hordes,
Okay,
hordes.
I totally
It applies
didn't.
to like a group of zombies. What if
Yes.
you have, like, let's say the entire state of New York gets turned into zombies. Now you've got a slow group of zombies now shuffling their way into New Jersey. What do? You've got a couple 100,000 zombies because you've got an entire state's worth of people turned and they're all coming in one direction. What do? Because you can't exactly hide in a building. They're going to knock the buildings down because they don't quite think like that. They're just going to continuously bump into them and run into them and things.
So,
What do
well,
you
hold
do?
on then. So, why would staying in one place not necessarily work? Because let's say, um, so in my basement, I have a little door underneath the stairs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If I could barricade myself in this little space under the stairs, the zombies come by, they come through my neighborhood, and somehow they miss the fact that I'm hiding.
Mm-hmm.
So they move on to another neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
Are they going to come back to my neighborhood, or because they already went through here? Like, could I just then stay at my house because the zombies already came through?
Well, they could. It could depend. It could be why they're traveling in the first place. I mean, it depends.
Okay, I'm glad that you heard what I heard, Dreadpool. That's exactly what I heard.
Oh God.
That's why I was like, "What did you say?"
No, I mean, well, in Z Nation, they actually take zombies to what is it? I said it earlier. No, I can't think of what it is. Yeah, they take them to a big hole and just let them go there. I mean, I think it answers a lot of it. What happens if? What do you do when?
Mhm.
Because they do end up dealing with big, large crowds of zombies, and they do come back around for no reason. They never really
Okay.
explain it. I don't know if maybe they're like looking for food and they just kind of got turned around at one point or another. Um, I don't think they're coming for child support though. Just could be wrong. Could be wrong. It's too funny. No, that's one of the better TV shows with zombies though.
Do pregnant zombies give birth to zombies, or do they give birth? Okay,
I,
what?
I'm gonna curse Zack Snyder on the next one. That's I think is it Snyder's film? Whose film is it? Let me find out.
What
There's
if a
a movie.
zombie gets pregnant by a non-zombie?
Nope. There's a movie where two zombies and the zombie knocks up the other zombie and then she has a little zombie. It is as dumb as it sounds. It doesn't answer any questions. It is a terrible movie.
Can
Um,
can a zombie get pregnant by a non-zombie?
Uh,
Or would the zombie kill? What if the zombie doesn't kill you fast enough? I don't know.
there's a movie, and I can't think of the name of it right now, and they actually, unfortunately, kind of answer this question a little bit. She doesn't get pregnant, but the guys get sick. Well, guy gets sick as he deserved, but um, yeah, that's what it is. Dead girl. That's the name of it. Dead girl. She doesn't get pregnant, but the guy gets sick, and I wish he died a whole lot faster in that movie. Honestly, he was such a bastard. But hmm, I'm not the one that did it. I didn't make the movie or write it, so it's fine by me. But yes, it is Zack Snyder. I like to curse out. Thank you so much for inventing the zombie baby thing in something else in a movie. That was a wholly unnecessary movie, Snyder.
The whole the whole horror of zombies.
The whole Army of the Dead is a completely unnecessary zombie movie. They wasted like half of the actors in it, and they wasted half of the characters. And the insult, the biggest insult, is the most obnoxious, dumb character is the one who survives.
Of course. Doesn't that happen in a lot of movies in general, though, that the most obnoxious person is the one who always
Not
survives?
really. It's becoming a thing recently, but it's just because they're writing shitty characters. It's got nothing. I don't think it's anything to do with them purposely making these people like survive. I think they're just getting really bad at writing human people. I
Yeah.
mean, a lot of the actions that these people are giving and doing and things, it's like, bro, you should not technically have any friends from these behaviors. I deal with a lot from my friends and family and things, but there is a line in the sand that everyone has, and characters in movies usually cross these lines.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so yeah, no, it just seems to be a popular thing recently.
Mm-hmm.
I think they all forgot how humans really interact with each other when we're not busy fanning ourselves with $100 bills
Yeah.
in a tub full made of gold, whatever monstrosity they have this week. Um, it's pretty sad, actually. I've seen a couple of movies lately where all of the characters are horrible, and you're waiting for them all to die.
Yeah.
And then one unfortunately survives, and you've just never been so disappointed in your life. Yeah, Tom Cruise's World of the Worlds was good. It was pretty scary. I'm just not a huge Tom Cruise fan. Anytime I see him, he takes me out of it. But the effects were really good on that one. Um, his kids were annoying too, though. Like that's another one. His son, that I'm gonna go help. Listen here, you little dink. And he just watches the kid run off into explosions. Like, huh? No. Would you rather? I'd rather neither. I'd rather neither. Touching random people just sounds really grody to me, but that's just me. Dreadful. Okay. Bad guy in Shaun of the Dead was a Harry Potter wannabe. I was happy when he got torn apart. Oh, the boyfriend. I know what you're talking about. It's the boyfriend. He definitely deserved to get eaten because, yeah, he had a girlfriend and was pining over his best friend. And he deserved to die. He should have died sooner. But they made him like that on purpose. We were rooting for him to get eaten on purpose. You could tell he was written that way for you to dislike him. He wasn't so obnoxious you wanted to strangle him through the string. He was just obnoxious that you were like, I'd push him out a window too, full of zombies. You probably wouldn't feel bad about it either. That's just me. Mm. And but there's a zombie genre has so many good ones. It's odd to get a bad zombie movie. Honestly, it's kind of hard to find a bad zombie movie unless everyone in the movie is an absolute horrible person. It's really kind of hard to hate a zombie movie. They can be corny, they can have bad special effects, but the storyline's fairly basic. You wake up one day, at some point, the zombie apocalypse starts happening. You try and find safety, maybe find some people along the way. Some drama ensues. But at the end, you lost a few people, but, you know, half of you survive or a few of you survive or whatever. So it's mostly pretty good. Mostly. I would
So,
have to say.
so
Huh?
Sir Man says October's the month that he always watches Little Shop of Horrors. Are you saying that Little Shop of Horrors is a zombie movie, or you just watch it in October?
Mm,
Also, another movie I've never seen, but isn't that the musical with the Venus flytrap?
yeah,
Bright Giant Plants.
yeah. I
I've never
love
seen it. It
that.
used to be on TV all the time, though.
Feed me, Seymour. Oh, God, I love that. That's one of my favorite musicals. I like Aubrey.
Yeah.
Aubrey too.
On the 19th, we're getting together. There's a group of us getting together and we're watching horror movies. So I don't know what we're watching.
Put some zombie movies on that list. just one, at least one.
Gabe
One.
Kaplaters, he set it up so whatever he pick, I'm just along for the ride. That's really how it goes. I'm just whatever they pick to watch, I'm there. Whatever.
I'm gonna laugh if you come back and say like he made me watch a whole bunch of black and white movies. I had to watch House on Haunted Hill. I had to watch Red Masquerade. Yes, yes.
Uh,
Psycho.
I've seen Psycho. Um, Red Masquerade. That is okay. I don't know if it's the same movie. The Vincent Price one, but the
Yep.
Edgar Allan Poe.
Hmm.
But okay, I've seen that. That was a great movie. I've seen that one. I love Edgar Allan Poe and I love Vincent Price. So I've seen that
Yeah.
one.
Oh, it's such a good
I've
movie.
seen Rocky Horror Picture Show. I've seen that.
Oh, I love Rocky Horror Picture Show. Have you ever been to a theater to do a shadow cast of it?
Nope.
Oh, that's fun. That is really fun. No matter who you are, it's a lot of fun. The audience interacts during the movie. Um, People sing, dance, jump around. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
They've closed, like all the movie theaters close to our house have all shut down. So
That's a
we had a
fun.
movie theater like literally a quarter mile from our house that closed.
Aw.
The last one that was remaining in town, they rented the building. So for years they've been trying to kick them out,
Hmm.
and finally it just like last weekend I think it may have closed. And they're building storage units. Like
Hmm.
they're building gazillions of storage units. Enough. So that theater closed down. The one that was like 20 minutes away closed down. Like everything that's close to us is all shut down. So
That's so sad.
yeah,
That's just sad. I mean, I don't blame everybody for not going to the movies because, like,
yeah,
it's $100 to get a popcorn and a drink and some candy now.
yeah.
It's ridiculous, but that's still sad. Really sad.
It is. So yeah, the only theater that stayed open is the one that's in the mall.
Oh, that's a bummer. Those are usually like so small.
Yeah. So it's the mall movie theater is the only one that's left, and yeah.
That stinks.
But
Well, hopefully, if they do any they at one point in time when they released a bunch of they released some movies from a series called After Dark. They were um, movies that they did for HBO. It was for TV. No, After Hours. It was around the same time they did Masters of Horror on HBO. And they released these movies, but when they released them for a limited time, and they only
Mhm.
released them in certain theaters because they were geared towards like people that genuinely liked horror movies. They
Okay.
weren't they weren't your mainstream horror movies, really. They're pretty harsh compared to a lot. Like I can't picture them really being released in theaters, honestly. So it was pretty impressive they were. Well, they released them in the theaters. They only released them in some of them. They
Mhm.
did a whole big special event for it because there were only so many theaters that were able to play these movies. Basically, if the theater had enough um, projectors and areas and stuff that they didn't mind not using, one or two rooms for these movies, that you might get lucky and have 20 people show up to watch.
Yeah.
So at the theater that I went to, just so happened they did back to back showings of two of the movies. So if you bought one ticket for the movie, you paid a little extra, but you got to see both of them for at the
Okay.
same time. You got to sit through it and watch. So that was fun. So hopefully they do something still like that when there's particular circumstances, because
Yeah.
that was an awesome event, really. I mean, like right now, a couple of the theaters were showing some other movies not too long ago because, anniversaries.
Well, see, and I feel like theaters, there's so many people. Like you said, you don't want to go because it's just so ridiculously expensive.
Mm.
Um, but if you did these special events, to me, that's where you're going to get people to come in. That you do something that's because right now, like I mentioned last week, I never saw Beetlejuice, so I'm waiting till Beetlejuice comes out on demand, and then I can watch both movies. Right, I'm still not going to go to the theater to watch it, but if you do special events, maybe you get the people to come to the theaters to watch movies.
Oh,
Maybe it's going to
yeah.
be worthwhile to go because it's not just a movie that's like, yeah, I'll just wait a month and a half and watch it at my house. It's like, no, I want to go see this. It's limited time. I'm going to be, like the Rocky Horror Picture thing. I'm going to be with a group of fans.
Mhm. Well, that's one thing that's always cracked me up when I've discussed horror with people, is because they're like, have you ever noticed a lot of horror movies are bad? Yeah, because they don't get a lot of money,
Hmm.
because they don't get a lot of love, which is funny to me because anytime I go to an event geared around horror, whether it be a horror convention, um, group activities. I mean, I belong to several groups that do haunted houses and haunted trails and things. I mean, when the Beetlejuice movie was released, two of the groups rented theaters out so they could
Yeah.
all go watch it as large groups. We're willing to put out money and go do the events. You guys just need to hold the events. I mean, that's
Yeah.
why Universal Studios Halloween Horror Nights sells out so quick. I mean, they don't necessarily sell out because they don't put a cap on their stuff like they should. That's beef in a letter for you guys later. I will be making an email. Don't worry. But that's why a lot of the theme parks do it. They make a ton of money back on it now. They can afford to drop the
Yeah.
prices down certain nights because you've got an influx of a ridiculous amount of people. I mean, horror conventions now, because horror has gotten so mainstream and so popular with
Yeah.
people. I don't know what happened. I'm thinking y'all got twisted during COVID. I'm not complaining. Makes my life easier to find the nasty out there. But since everyone else has started joining the club, horror conventions sell out quick now. It's like trying to go to a San Francisco Comic Con. You got to wait for tickets now and
Yeah.
hope you can get them, and then hope you can get a hotel room. I mean, like 2 years ago, I literally paid $5 to walk into one. Like that wouldn't happen now. You would never get away with paying $5 to walk around a convention. But so I thank you for that. But I wish they'd give more money towards it because we like. I guess everyone likes dark things. Maybe it's a way of us to deal with, the savagery of everyday politics. Everyone has fantasies, right? Don't you want to run down the road with a chainsaw? I do sometimes.
There are people I would like to chase with the chainsaw.
Hey, listen, I told a kid this weekend, sweetheart, unfortunately for you, you're already in the middle of the woods with me. No one will ever find you because the time they notice that you're missing on Monday, no one will be out here. Just saying, child. I was paid, well, I'm not paid, but I was told to terrorize the masses. I'm allowed to do so. And then I told him I'd see him later. I'll see you tonight, sweetie. Don't worry.
Well, I like you said. I like you said that you tell kids that like you don't have to be the fastest. Do you know how to trip somebody? I love that.
I say okay. It just depends on the child. It depends on how the child's acting during all of this. If the child's being polite, even though they're scared, it's so cute. I mean, some of these kids are absolutely terrified. Like they are two
Yeah.
seconds away from peeing themselves,
Aw.
and they're calling me ma'am and yes, please, no, thank you. Like I get kids telling me on a regular basis because I'll ask them, do you want to stay with me? And no, thank you.
Oh,
I
thank you.
appreciate it, but no, thank you. And it's like, okay, like I want to terrorize you, but you're kind of cute. So like maybe I'll help you out by like telling you like, okay, sweetie, here's the deal. If a monster gets close, just give daddy to him. You'll be fine. They'll be fine. They don't want you. You're a snack. We want food. We want food. We need like a bigger person so that you'd be like eating Chinese. We're gonna be hungry in an hour. It's not
Yeah.
worth the time. Like I'll take your dad though. I'll take your mom. You're fine, honey. So yes, I terrorize you whenever I walk because well, you made the mistake of marrying me.
Yeah, you signed up for it, so
There are moments that I'm pretty. And it's worth it to deal with my insanity sometimes. Besides, if all else fails, I have a really nice body, so just focus on that. That's the important thing. I got nice
okay.
boobs.
That's the important thing.
I'm shallow. I'll be honest. I'm not the nicest person. I can promise you. He didn't fall in love with me for my attitude on outlook on life. I don't have a great one. I don't like those people, and I hate the planet. So it's definitely the boobs. I got nice rack. Definitely. I would have married me for him too. I'm not even gonna lie. Amazing. um, Superman getting infected with the zombie virus or X-Men would be interesting. However, I did like the episode from Marvel, the What If, where all the superheroes turned into zombies. That was actually my favorite What If episode. I've watched that one a couple of times because I found it so fun. It was like, what's cooler than Iron Man and Doctor Strange turning into zombies? It was fun. So Superman as a zombie, yeah, we all might as well just kiss our butts goodbye because no one's living through that. Nobody.
Yeah. Okay. So this is what Perry just said. When we were trick or treating as kids, the kid I was with went to an Elvira looking lady with a turkey pan saying open it for candy. He opened it and it was a bald guy's head screaming. So the kid ran down the block and then he stopped and a guy in a Wolfman mask jumped up against the fence and scared him and he ran even further down the block.
Oh
That
my
is great.
god.
Yeah, I could just imagine like getting all these little kids and scaring them with the guy's head in the pan. That was been amazing.
That's great. That's too funny. Yeah, I would do that. I would absolutely do that to the neighbor. I wouldn't doubt it if the guy with the bald head put on the mask and ran down the road to catch you to do it
Yeah.
again. Like, no offense, honey, you were his huckleberry that night. Oh my gosh. Milfman says, I love zombie movies, but most of them suck sadly. This depends on the movie and depends on your thought behind it. They're good bases. They don't always get executed well, but there's some really good ones. There are some good ones. At least that's my opinion. Better than Paranormal Activity. I'll take those over those any day.
I was just gonna say, I think you'll take pretty much any movie over Paranormal Activity.
Yeah. Milfman. Oh, I scare my kid for fun all the time. She gets pretty mad about it, actually. um, she's kind of she's like me at times. She won't be paying attention to what's going on around her. So you can startle her fairly easy at times. So yeah, I like to do jump scares on her every once in a while. And I usually get a scream back or it's not funny. No, I laugh and tell her I think I'm hilarious, but I mean, you can have your own feelings, emotions. Doesn't mean I have to deal with them, but you can have them. Parenting thing, my feelings. You know how badly sometimes I just want to be like, pull out the old 80s parenting card. No one cares about your feelings, child. No one cares. Highly inappropriate these days to tell your kids that, though, so. Scaring them and moving on is much easier.
X-Man just said, I just started something scary, zombie Ninja Turtles.
It'd be interesting. That might be intriguing, actually. Now, which Ninja Turtles are we talking about, though? Are we talking about, like, the 90s Ninja Turtles or the more modern things? Because I mean...
I don't like the modern Ninja Turtles.
Aren't they doing something with that? Aren't they trying, the same people that are doing all the Disney characters, aren't they trying to do something with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? Because I could have sworn I heard something about that. They had like a teaser poster or something. I don't know what they're going to do with them, but I mean,
I like the Ninja Turtles, so I will watch Ninja Turtle movies, but I don't know. I don't like the way the new ones look. I just don't, not a fan of their style.
I don't like the new ones. I prefer the old movies. But if I'm gonna go with anything from the Ninja Turtles, I'm gonna have to go with the original cartoon. Like that was the most tolerable for me. That was my favorite one. That one I could get behind because April wasn't really obnoxious. Yeah, in the movie she usually got obnoxious because they gave her more screen time. They wanted the pretty girl on screen more often, so they gave her more screen time. Well, April's not a character we should be focusing on.
I saw Ninja Turtles 2 in the theater, and I don't remember anything about the movie, but I remember it was done. I went with my brother and my cousins, and I remember we were all talking about how great the movie was. I don't know. I was a little kid, so it beats me, but I did see it.
I couldn't tell you what they were about anymore. I just remember the makeup and costumes and stuff. And it's like, I remember that they looked better, which is, that is another problem I have with these new modern remakes of older things. We didn't ask for a remake. We don't want you to
Mhm.
remake it. It was a good movie to begin with. It doesn't need a remake. But if you're going to remake a movie that doesn't need it, already had good stuff going, the least you could do is have some good costumes and makeup. Like just maybe, maybe. Not everything needs to be new and improved with latex and felt and things. Just keep it rubber, man. Keep it rubber.
Well, I don't like too that like now. I mean, you see even with logos for products, you see logos for stores. Everyone trying to do this like minimalist design, and it just sometimes it just ruins it. And it's I don't know. You don't necessarily have to change the old design. Changing it is not always a good thing.
No, no, it doesn't work well. Doesn't always bide well.
Yeah,
So
but
wish they'd stop. Get Universal Monsters Ninja Turtles toys. What? Universal Monsters Ninja Turtles toys.
see, Perry he is a Ninja Turtles fan. He was at
Hmm.
the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles concert in Madison Square Garden. It's on VHS tape. He was there.
Hmm. So are they now becoming part of the Monsters universe?
I don't know about that. I'll have to see if he knows the answer. But I know a lot of toys they're doing crossovers, and I don't think they're necessarily making crossovers like in shows or movies, but they're having toy crossovers. Well, that's what he said. Yeah, it's a crossover for toys.
Hmm. Hmm. Not everything has to be dark. And Ninja Turtles are dark green anyway. Why do they really need to be like what, black and white? Can't we just call them black and whites? And we drain the color from them. You're welcome.
Yeah.
Not everything has to be goth, guys. It's good. It's weird. It's odd. I know it's October. Don't make it weird. Have you seen the hot pink skulls out there and the hot pink Halloween decorations? Because I love the color pink. It's one of my favorites. But some things shouldn't be made. I'm just hot pink, hot orange, hot blue, neon green. These are not colors we need associated with Halloween usually. Um,
Well, the '90s are making a comeback, man, and all the neon, bright neon colors. They're making it in everything, everything, skulls included.
it's just
It went out of style for a reason.
unnecessary. It's
Yeah.
very unnecessary because, especially because now a lot of people are trying to do more realistic looking setups. They want the bloody bones and things. I've seen people making them all gooey and everything. And how are you going to do that with, yeah, like a
A bloody
pink
pink skull.
glitter skull? Like, how's that? Who'd that come off of? Like, I'm game for drinking out of the skulls of my enemies. I hardly believe in that. I don't understand why you need a hot pink skull in your yard, though. That's just unless you're going for the whole cutesy vibe, in which case, cute on me, friends. But I don't want to see a hot pink
Yeah.
skull standing next to a Grim Reaper, please. Don't make it weird. Don't make it weird.
You got
I
a
don't carry
Halloween in
it.
style.
I have never stood still for a picture next to a pile of hot pink neon bones. Thank you. So if you do that, and I'm the one who ends up raping you later, I will be sure to mention that as I'm reading off all of the things you've done wrong. That would be at the top of the list. You don't insult death. Don't. You can end up on a list that way. Yes, I saw glitter ghost face masks. Those looked interesting.
Is it just a ghost face mask covered in glitter?
Rhinestones. They covered it completely in pink and black rhinestones. I was like,
Interesting.
I mean, really, that's not for anyone that was around back then when the movie came out. The year before the movie came out, those masks were released. A year prior to, they had nothing to do with the movie. Um, they came out in multiple different designs. They had neon pink, neon green, neon orange. You had your black, white, um, and then you had your scary face, and then you had a few with goofy faces and things like that. So there were a couple different styles. Um, as I just said, we had neon pink, orange, blue, green ghost face mask. We did not have any covered in rhinestones. Why are we covering them in rhinestones? If we're going back to the retro look, that's fine, but we didn't have them covered in rhinestones.
I definitely just had to look them up. It's yeah.
I know because I had them. I thought they were the coolest thing when I saw them. I was like, I have to wear a mask. And I have a picture of me. Um, I don't even know how old I am in the picture, but I have a picture of me wearing an oversized tie dye shirt in a neon pink ghost face mask and a knife. I know they existed because I had one of the white masks too. I ended up wearing
Yeah.
the white mask out Friends like the following year. Um, so
So Scream 7 is now February of 2026.
I probably won't see it until it comes out on video because I have already wasted enough of my time in the theater watching those horrible movies. I'm not sitting my ass there for another hour and a half of my time again. I want to be able to pause it because it's like the last one was basically just rewashing the original second over again. I
Yeah.
mean, like you want to know what happened in the last movie? Go watch the second one. What's this next one going to be? Is it going to be the third one? Are we meeting another Roman? Somebody, I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. Are we meeting Jenna Ortega's Roman? Like, no, no, no. I'll wait till it's out on video and then I'll watch it here.
Yeah.
I could also make fun of it without someone telling me to be quiet. I'm probably going to laugh at it. I'll probably pause it a few times and go, wait a minute, what? Yeah, let's hope the opening kills at least better this time. Because, well, not great the last few times.
I don't know. Jenna Ortega, I feel like she doesn't, I feel like she has no emotion. Her face, to me, is always just kind of stiff in the way that she acts, and I kind of get thrown off.
I like her in some roles. I don't like her in the Scream franchise. I also don't like the other girl. I don't know what the hell her name is either, though. The one that plays her sister on that one. Um, I didn't like the girl that played her sister either. I thought their sisterly bond was so forced and just not really there, and then over explained at times. It was like, I have two sisters and three brothers. I can speak on this and say, like, that, no, man, half of this is not a, no, we don't do this. You don't disappear from your siblings for years on end
Yeah.
and then just like, oh, you can tell me what to do and how to behave. And, huh? None of these things work the way you seem to think they work. Not to mention, my siblings would be so mad at me if I stopped talking to them for like 4 years to work on myself. Like, please, they come hunt me
So,
down like a bunch of stalkers.
so apparently neither of them are in Screen 7,
That's
so we don't have
good.
to worry about it.
They are. They're just not good for that franchise. Jenna Ortega's great in other things. I thought she was great in Wednesday. She's fantastic in Wednesday. I don't know what else I've seen her in, but she's great in Wednesday. The other girl, she's in another horror movie that I watched. She's not bad at acting. Her characters are annoying usually. I don't know who her management is. I don't know if she
Yeah.
just happens to get stuck with characters that are kind of obnoxious, but her characters are kind of obnoxious. But I'll be waiting to see. If they bring back David Arquette, I'd be glad because he shouldn't have died. I said neither one of those people were enough. That man got stabbed like several different times and shot a few times. And you mean to tell me a half-assed 16-year-old killed that man? Please.
Yeah.
I don't think so. That was bad writing. The whole thing was just bad writing. And then the New York thing just didn't make anything better. Made nothing better after that. So yeah, I like
Yeah.
them bringing back some of the other ones, especially Kirby. Yeah, that was cool. It was nice they brought back some of the old characters. So it'll be good to see what they do. But mm, ugh. Eyes Wide Shut is the best mask movie. Eyes Wide Shut. It's just
Isn't
the
that movie with Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman and
it's just the
they're
thing.
naked in the bathtub and everyone that's when they were still married and everyone said that they had no chemistry? Isn't that Eyes Wide
Yeah,
Shut?
yeah.
Again,
That's
I've never
only
seen the movie, but
those are
I
only masquerade masks. Those aren't very good masks. Nah, I wouldn't say that's the best mask in movies. Honestly, if we're going just by masks, I would probably say The Purge has had some extremely memorable masks. The movies are, win or lose. There's no it's all right. They're either good or
Mhm.
they're terrible. First one really super boring. Some of them are all right. Not all of them. Some of them. But the masks are always like the costuming on those movies, on the Purge movies. Holy cow. They do amazing. They really do. They come up with some really good masks. Can't argue with that.
Are you still talking about Eyes Wide Shut? Is that the I don't even know what movie we're on at this point. Yeah, so Courtney Cox told them to bring Dewey back somehow. They were like, if we're like redoing all this stuff, figure out a way to bring him back. Which it is,
That's
because
right.
he deserved better than a half-assed killing by a 16-year-old. He deserved
Look,
better than that.
yeah, I mean, like I said, the dude got stabbed like four different times already, and like a child that.
Yeah.
And here's what kills me about 5 and 6. I know. There's a lot of inconsistencies in the movies about size and things. That's fine. But in 5, and they're so little. And in 6, they're little. Only the dad's like adult sized. So how are they picking up and tossing people? Like, not for nothing. Homegirl's probably about the same size and weight. She probably weighs less than I do. So let's just be generous and give her a height of like 5'4". Let's just say because it's Hollywood, they don't weigh damn near anything. So let's go with like she's like 110 pounds, 115 pounds, maybe, with clothes and boots on or something. How are you tossing David Arquette's body anywhere? You're not doing anything. That man is large compared to you, much larger compared to you. And the boy was like the size of a twig. And he's trying to throw people over a
He
balcony.
he
How?
also weighed 115 pounds.
Yeah. How? 50 Cent lived through 9 gunshots. That's true too. 50 Cent got shot 9 times and survived. Tupac got shot, what, twice and survived.
Well,
Dewey
not
gets
the
shot
last
half
time.
a dozen times. Yeah, well, No one gets it right every time. Oh, really? Okay. Courtney Cox said they shot 2 hospital scenes for Scream 5, one where Dewey lives and one where he dies. She said the studio just wanted the dying scene just in case they told him he was going to live. She got really mad when she saw the final screen and they killed him off. I'd be pissed too. I'd be mad too. Again, this guy has survived all of this nonsense to be killed by some moody teenagers.
Yeah.
Letdown is not the words.
I mean, his death was like, we just want to get rid of him, and we don't really care how ridiculous this is. We're just killing you off just because we are done with you. Like, that's really like, they didn't even write him off in a good way. Like, they could have killed him, but made it like a good way to kill him off.
Mm-hmm.
That was just a, we don't like you anymore. We're getting rid of you.
Yeah, pretty much. It's
Yeah.
bogus that they do things like that. I mean, well, I mean, they've done that to several people over the years with movies and things, though. They're always replacing people. It just sucks when they replace big main actors in the series and they swap them out for God knows who. I mean, look at the Hellraiser franchise. Those movies kind of sank and went downhill, but it was all right because David Brad or Doug Bradley, I don't know, Bradley, something Bradley was in there, and he played Pinhead the whole time with no problems. The last couple of movies, they're so bad. He's like, I'm done. I don't want anything to do with this. And the movies aren't even really worth watching anymore because it's not even the same. You don't get that command from the guy who's playing the actor now. Bradley has a very commanding voice and presence about him in that role. It's nutty. I mean, he doesn't say a whole lot of lines, especially in the first one. And he's the best character in the Hellraiser movie. He's in it for less than 5 minutes. So. Yeah, Jamie Kennedy's character was one of the best. I was sad when they killed him off. I was really hoping they would keep bringing him back somehow. Kind of hoping he'd be like in witness protection or something. It would have made sense, honestly.
Sir X-Man wants Mario and Luigi as zombies. Are there like, but then what? Because there's not enough people in the Mario universe, is there? Like, wouldn't
there's only the 3 of them, technically speaking. Princess Peach looks human, but I don't know if she is. And then Mario and Luigi. Everybody else is toads or turtles.
See, I was even counting like toads as people, but yeah, but they're all. I mean, like Goombas. I mean, I don't know. Oh, and Zombies Invading Sesame Street. I actually would watch Zombies Invading Sesame Street. That I'm down for. You have Big Bird as a zombie. He's coming at you with his beak. But does he have to bite you, or can he just like peck you because he's a bird? I don't know. I don't know what the rules would be for a bird being a zombie, but I'm down for it. Snuffleupagus running after you.
That depends. Resident Evil's infected birds attack you, and then what movie is it? 28 days later, birds, while they're infected, they don't necessarily attack you so much as they just caw at you, I guess. But
I'm just saying, wouldn't that be a great horror movie that like I said, you have a gigantic 8-foot tall bird coming at you.
That would be funny though. That would be really entertaining. Oh, Daisy. Yeah, you're right. There is Daisy from Mario and Luigi. Yeah, but you know what? She's not in all the games though. So I guess depending on what year the apocalypse happens in Nintendo world will depend on if she survives or not. Although I can't imagine the virus going very far. Hmm. Hmm. I don't think Cookie Monster would be able to say brains though, because all he ever says is cookie. Me want cookie. I can't picture him doing anything else.
Well, maybe Big Bird takes the brains and he's making brain cookies for Cookie Monster.
Oh, it could be. It could be. These things are all possible.
Uh,
Sounds like we need to go think about it.
well, I have no clue when the trademark is running out for Sesame Street, but I'm sure whenever it does, somebody will be making this Big Bird horror movie. So it's only a matter of time before we see it, see what someone comes up with.
It'll be entertaining. It'll be I would watch it. I'm not gonna lie, I'll watch it. I'd watch it. I'd be
That
interested.
I may watch. I would.
I mean,
The
it'd be
other horror
even
movies
more
I'm not
fun.
watching,
You
but
know what would be
Sesame
more
Street.
fun of an idea though, is if like they like cleaned up in between kills. So like he had, let's say he had a zombie like virus, but it wasn't really like completely had taken over. He was still just becoming like he'd just have fits of rage once in a while. And he, kills someone, and then after he's done eating them, he kind of snaps out of it, and he's like, "Oh no," because he's gotten his fix. So he cleans up the mess, and the next person comes, and it just keeps happening. Like, how long do you think you could get away with eating bodies for?
Well, I bet you for a while because Sesame Street, they're all so helpful. I think they'd all help him clean up the bodies. They wouldn't even ask him questions; they would just help him.
Yeah. Hmm. Milfman, yeah, we're gonna stream some games together eventually. Just haven't had time. Haven't had time recently. Have a night. Have a good night, DJ. Um, isn't Bones technically a meatless zombie? Who's Bones? I don't know what that is, so I have to think about that, and I'll get back to you with that answer. Even though I feel Until Dawn didn't need a remake, it does look great. Until Dawn. I can't think of that. I don't know what that is. Hmm.
Until Dawn is a game. I got it. I just got it. They just remade the game. It came out last week. Or it came out Friday.
Is that the one where you can play it on two different modes? And one of them's like survival only. So if you die in the game, your profile is done. Like you have to restart again. You can't start from a save point or a spawn point.
I know, because Milfman, didn't you just beat Until Dawn? I'm pretty sure that he just beat it because I said I wasn't gonna play it until the remake came out. But the remake came out. I'm pretty sure it just came out Friday because I just got it this weekend.
Hmm.
I haven't played it yet though. I haven't even opened it.
Sounds familiar, but I don't know. Oh. Oops. Yeah, I played this. Yeah, I played it. I have to play it again. I haven't played it in a while. That tells you how long it's been since I played it. Several games have been come and gone since then. And I have played that one.
Yeah, Milfman. That's right. It beat the game. The bitchy character Emily was a sole survivor.
Oh, that's great. Oh, you're getting the Silent Hill 2 remake. Nice.
I got Until Dawn. I'm getting the Silent Hill 2 remake. I got the Zelda game that just came out,
Mm-hmm.
and I got the Steelbook of the Patrick game.
Cool. Very
Yep.
nice. Very nice. Very nice. I always like collecting the steel covers. If I have to spend that kind of money, it's always better to get the steel cases. I don't know why. I just like the way they feel.
Well, I love Patrick's. The steel case, it's just pink with like his face on it, and I love it. It's cute. So Perry got it for me. So
Oh, it's funny. Oh, happy birthday, Milkman. Oh, wait, your birthday was yesterday, wasn't it?
My birthday was Saturday.
Oh, damn. I'm so
Hmm.
sorry. Happy birthday.
Yep. So I got games and we played mini golf. I got a hole in one. More importantly, I beat Perry. Well, that's
Nice.
not hard. He's not competitive. He's not competitive at all. So it wasn't hard.
That's funny. Oh, you know what? You should still win on your birthday, anyways, regardless of whether or not he's good. You
Yeah.
should still get the win. Funny.
Two sisters died because of a prank gone wrong, and their friends meet 1 year after their death at a cabin in the woods. Okay, well, I'm gonna find out. Like I said, I'm gonna play it, and we're gonna see how it goes. So,
I'm gonna have to start playing games again. I haven't been able to play much in the way of games recently. It's pretty sad. Only Xbox touching that anybody's had as a kid. She's the only one that's really been allowed to play. I just haven't had time or energy lately. It's so sad. Not always great, but adulting, what can you do?
yep.
I'm not gonna. I don't know whose birthday other than Pinky's it was. So whoever's birthday's
I don't
today
think
or tomorrow or something, happy birthday. If none of your birthdays are coming up, well, mine is in like 18 days. So
Oh, so are you Libra too? I don't know when Libra ends.
no, I'm a Scorpio.
Oh, okay.
The cutoff date's like 2 days before my birthday. Yeah, apparently the thing that likes to sting people and kill them. Go figure. Who would think I'd be a dangerous animal under astrology?
So you're so close to a Halloween birthday, but not quite.
Yeah, I'm actually jealous because a friend of mine was born on Halloween,
Oh,
but I'm grateful that I wasn't born on Halloween because as
mhm.
much as I love his birthday and I love being able to like make a big deal out of it and stuff, it sucks so bad. It's kind of like having a birthday on Christmas almost, except instead of like people giving you your Christmas and your birthday gift, they're giving you candy instead of anything else at all.
Mm,
Or like it's just they just kind of like, oh, we're already going to parties. We can't come to your birthday thing because it's in the middle of October or whatever. Like I've had people do that to me. Oh, we can't come to your birthday dinner because we have a Halloween party today.
yeah.
Thanks. Okay.
See, I would hate to have a birthday on a holiday, any holiday at all, because your birthday should be its own special event. And when it's on a holiday, it's not. Like my sister-in-law, her birthday is Christmas Eve, and
Yeah.
she said she loves it because it's like everywhere she goes, there's always a party. And obviously, it's her birthday. Of course, she's going to say she likes it. That's what she's used to. But I was just thinking, okay, yeah, there is a party everywhere you go, but not your party,
Yeah.
right? Like that's
Yeah.
honestly like,
That's
yeah, right?
exactly what it is. Because people would tell me, for years, because my birthday's towards the end of the month, they'd be like,
Hmm.
oh, instead of having a party, why don't you just, come to all these parties? It's not the same. Me
Yeah, a
going to
Halloween
the
party is not your
Halloween
birthday
party,
party.
yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, my birthday parties, I always throw themed parties.
Yeah.
I find it easier personally to set a theme. And my friends enjoy dressing up in costumes. It's fun for them. So I give them a reason to dress up in
Hmm.
costumes. I'll make a theme party. I don't care if it's in the middle of July. We can do pirates for all I care. Um, so I always do theme parties. So using that in the middle of October, it's like people are like, well, I've got Halloween parties before and after your party to go to. And it's so busy. It's not that I'm jealous they're going to other parties and not going to mine. It's just, it's so packed. We're normally
Yeah.
most of the time in August for saying that. You ask somebody to come to a party in August and they'll tell you they got nothing to do. There's no parties the rest of August. They're good, any day is good.
Yeah.
I try to plan. I go to theme parks to the Halloween events for my birthday. That's my little gift to myself. And I stopped asking. I used to bring large groups of friends with me. At one point, we were up to like 15 people in a group.
Hmm.
That's a lot of people to walk into a theme park with,
Yeah.
really. Um, but I stopped doing that because it became too much of a hassle as time went on. It was like, oh, I've got to work. Oh, I've got a Halloween party. Oh, I've got this. I've got that. It's
Yeah.
easier to do something else instead. It's just much easier to go by ourselves and then hold a party in November. Call it a day.
Yeah.
That's just my personal preference. It's me. It used to not be that way, but it is. Like I said, everybody has parties now. Everybody's partying all month long, especially now. I mean, Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween starts in like friggin' August now.
Yeah.
Like, it starts way ahead of schedule. Um, Universal's Halloween Horror Night starts in September. Busch Gardens starts in September. So people start in September with this stuff now. So it's hard to nail dates down for things. So yeah, I'd say birthdays around holidays are rough. Just because of the party situation.
Yeah.
Although for people like my husband that were born near Valentine's Day, it's not bad because Valentine's Day is kind of a crap holiday. I said what I said. Be mad. I'm happily married, so it doesn't bother me any. Uh,
Oh, where you said people that would join the party but not pay for the way when you guys prepaid for them. Okay,
mhm.
I can't stand people like that, and I feel like as an adult, what a shit friend you are if you do that to your friends. Like, I can't
Oh, I've
stand
heard
people
all
who do
kinds
that.
of excuses from people that have owed me money. It gets to the point to where I'll let it slide for a little bit, and then eventually I'm just done. I'll wash my hands of the whole ordeal. I'd
Yeah,
rather not.
I'd
I'm
wash
not
my hands of the
arguing with you
people.
over money, but I'm not going to be your friend either. Because as far as I'm concerned, if you can't
Yeah.
pay me back the $10, $20 or
Yep.
whatever it is that I owed you, I can't trust your word on anything you say. Anything that comes out of your mouth is more than likely
Yeah.
to be bullshit. Because
Well,
if
the thing,
you're
if you're
going to
my
lie about something so stupid,
yeah, well, if you're my friend, you wouldn't screw me out of money,
I, I,
right?
it's not even that. I
If
just
you're my
feel
friend, you wouldn't
insulted.
screw me over.
I'm
And
just more insulted that they lie to your face about it.
yeah,
Oh, I forgot. Oh, I'll get you back next time. Oh, I don't have it today. These are all bullshit excuses for you to use.
yeah,
You remembered, you have it, it's there, and no, you're never going to give it to me. I find being lied to more insulting than anything else.
yeah,
That's one thing that is a pet peeve of mine. Just than anything else. Like, I have a friend that owes me money, owes me probably, if I sat down and did the math, probably owes me a ton of money. I've never worried about getting the money back because they've never lied to my face
yep,
about it. It's not a problem as long as you're not lying to my face. I'm pretty chill on most things. It's just that's one pet peeve because, like I said, if you're lying to me about something stupid, like something that doesn't even matter,
yeah,
how can I trust you?
yep,
I can't trust, and I have a kid, I have a husband. I like these things. I don't keep people I don't trust around these things. So
yeah.
yeah, lying's worse to me than owing me money. But I also
No,
don't
I
lend out
agree.
money much anymore either because of that. So
Yeah, I don't either.
it happens.
Uh,
But it is getting late. We have been
yep.
on a while. Everybody probably needs to go to bed. Y'all got to go to work tomorrow, and I've got to go pack things for another hurricane.
Yes. Well, stay safe this week. Hopefully it's not too bad. Hopefully the trail stays open. Keep us all posted. But yeah,
Here's to hoping I can still terrorize the villagers after Wednesday. We won't
yep,
know until then. We won't know until Thursday, but Uh, man, no, that's nutty. Well, everybody stay safe,
Yes.
stay good, enjoy. And with all that being
Yep.
said, it has been a wonderful evening. Thank you all for tuning in. We appreciate it. Couldn't do it without you guys. There'd be no point to do it without you guys,
Yeah.
honest. Well, let's be honest. If you guys didn't show up, I wouldn't show up.
Yep.
So,
Yes. Thank you for coming, participating in the chat. It's been
yeah,
fun.
yes. Well, everybody have a good week.
Yes.
Be careful, be safe. Get a floaty, a raft, blow up inner tube or something.
Get a raft and stock up on liquor.
Woman after my own heart. So that's what I'm going for. I gotta go, but if you'll excuse me, I gotta go hit the liquor store,
Yep.
and I gotta get a couple of patches for my rubber blow up dinghy.
Yep.
Just in case. There's no problems, but just in case. And yes, I do have a blow up dinghy, and it even has a paddle, a collapsible paddle.
I hope it's not a blow up paddle because I don't think that would really work so well.
No, they're just collapsible paddles. Um, that's what happens when your family insists on being prepared.
Yeah.
You're prepared for all kinds of ridiculous situations. So that's one of them. In case I have to swim my way down the road, I'm not getting in the water. There's alligators and poop in there.
Yeah.
I'm more concerned about the poop than the gators personally, but
I would be too. Yeah.
but everyone have a wonderful night. Try not to worry too much. We'll be fine.
Yep.
But if you want to send anything, liquor, power, those are good things. Generators. We can get some generators. Send me generators. Finding anything at the generator. I'll see. I don't need a paddle for that. I have one of those old school 80s hazing paddles. Think larger, friends. A rowing paddle has too much resistance. You don't want resistance when you're spanking someone. Work smarter, not harder, guys. But, all right, guys, enjoy. Have a good night, and we will see you next week. I mean, here's to hoping we all still have power.
Yep.
That's all I can say. But the only way I wouldn't be here is if I don't have power. So, but I think we'll be all right. So, have a good night, everybody. And until then, I'm still Death Dealer.
And I'm Pink Piggles.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.